Okay, hi guys. Well, again, it's 12 midnight almost, and I'm up doing a video again. And it's not that 12 at night is new for me to get these thoughts. It's just that it's new for me to have the phone ready to grab and talk to y'all, okay? When I got used to it and got it over and over and over again, I finally said, well, enough of this. By the time I wake up in the morning, I don't remember what it is, so I'm just going to have the phone ready. So here we go. You might get these more often now. So what I was thinking about is we've been hearing for a long time about how to connect with your higher self. Okay, well, if you hopefully watched my last video on the New Age rules need a rework. Well, this is one of the reworks, because it is past time, if you're going to 5D, to connect with your higher self. It is now time to merge with your higher self. Now, I don't know if y'all have watched all of my videos, but if you do or have, you'll notice that I did one, and then a while later, a long while later, I did another. Then there was a big long gap before I did any, and then there was some gap. And at those, when I came back after the I'm back one, in those videos, my eyes would close part of the way. I looked like I was stoned or drunk, one or the other. I was not. But what I was doing was, that was really me phasing off and kind of letting my higher self, who really had more of the answers or more access to the answers, talk more during those videos. Now, over the last week or couple weeks or so, that has stopped happening since the numbers really started to shoot up in the Schumann resonance up to over 100 for extensive periods of time. I know that I now, most of the time, have merged with my higher self. And that's the reason why I was able to ask questions regarding, now that I've merged with my higher self, I know that there's one even higher. And then that got me thinking, well, as above, so below, infinite inside of things, and kind of like Russian nesting dolls, you know? And so I asked the question, I said, well, is there a higher self above the higher self that I just merged with? And of course it was a resounding yes, of course. And then I said, well, is there one above that? Yes. Is there one above that? Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Infinity. I can't really explain, because we don't, when I talk to myself like that, or ask questions of to access my, the information that's all the information, has all the answers, I don't really speak in English. That's much too slow. So when I explain to you that I've asked a question, that happened, the answers happen very quickly, and the answer that I get is really more seeing, feeling, knowingness of the way it works at that point. So I got to thinking, well, you know, I know now that I've, most of the time, a good percentage of the time, I'm now merged with my higher self. And I realized that people were still talking about connecting with your higher self. Well, yeah, you could use all the things that they've told you to do to connect with your higher self, but that connection is going to be very short now. And so expect to go to, okay, I'm going to connect to my higher self. How are you? I see you. Now I feel you. I know you're there. Okay, let's merge. And you're going to merge. And so there is no need to now, which is why trusting yourself is so important, because I've seen videos, a couple of them, on how to know whether it's your higher self or you talking, which I don't understand. Your higher self, by reason of the words I just used, means that is you. So there is no difference. that's the wrong question using the wrong words, which frequently gets done by humans, which is what has caused so much disruption over the years, is not clarifying how you use those words. If your higher self is talking to you in your head and you're talking to yourself in your head, that's the same person. They're all you, right? Okay? The question is not whether or not you or you higher self you is talking to you in your head. The question is whether or not the ego is the one that's talking to you in your head. And really, that's pretty easy to identify, really. Because ego always collects data and answers based on fear, always. That's what it's there for, is to protect you. So it is collecting data based on fear. So if whatever's going on in your head, whether it feels like it's a long ways away or not, if it's not based on fear or making you feel bad, I guarantee you it's you. You don't have to analyze it. As a matter of fact, the second you analyze it, then that is ego collecting data to protect you based on fear, right? If you're not in fear, that's you. It doesn't matter what level it is. It doesn't matter whether it's what you perceive as you or your higher self or the higher self's higher self or all of the many entities that are on your team helping you. What difference does it make? If it's not eliciting fear, if it's not causing fear, then it's good. Listen to it. If you have any questions about what it is, just ask. People have forgotten how to talk. Communication, even with human languages, is really bad. Take, for instance, remember, and I'm 57, so I can remember back when I was young, and even when I was younger, where I could have a disagreement with a friend, and we could just even really be strong on opposite sides of the fence, but we could still disagree about it and still love each other or like each other. And something's happened somewhere where everybody is so afraid that you can't even handle somebody disagreeing with you anymore. And that has led to you not trusting anything. So the ego is just on hyperdrive. And so it's really simple. If you want to know if it's you or some version of higher self, then you need to ask yourself, does that thought make me feel bad? If it makes you feel bad instantly, and I don't mean after you think about it for 5 minutes, I mean, does it make you feel bad? If it doesn't make you feel bad, it's probably a part of who you really are, okay? But the biggest part of this particular video is I want you to encourage to start thinking about visualizing, intending to merge with your higher self, not to connect with it anymore. That's the old paradigm pre-2012. Now is the time for merging with your higher self. Okay? Alright guys, if you have any questions, shoot me a question in the comments below or email me. My email address is down below. If you have any ideas for videos, if you want me to cover something in a video, please ask me. Because I've had people say, well, you just need to write a book, for instance, which I'm trying to do. But you've got to understand that I'm always talking to myself all the time in my head, only I don't talk. And because I'm all flitting around questioning things and finding answers and yada yada. And I can access all of these infinite perspectives, all of these infinite timelines, all at once, okay? Very quickly. So when somebody says, well, just do a video, well, I need it kind of narrowed down some, because it's a very big place with a very big lot of information on the other side. So just tell me what you want me to talk about. Questions are really good at me being able to get answers. But also I want to send a message out to everyone in that regard as well. that when I'm talking to you in the comment section below, which I love to do, or if I talk to you on the phone, which I love to do, or if I email back and forth to you, which I love to do, understand that from my perspective, I have Yvonne Ballard, who's in human body form, who's changing timelines wicked fast, that I have to keep track of, plus all of the perspectives that she does, plus I have your questions, and you're moving through timelines and perspectives wicked fast. So sometimes a person will ask me a question, and literally people ask me a question on the phone, and by the time they've gotten to their fifth word, they have answered their own questions, although not knowing that, and switched timelines before they've actually finished the question. Now the question I have to that person and to you is, do you want me to answer that question from the perspective and timelines that you were on when you started the question, or when you sent me the email, or where you ended up after you asked the question? Because there's or any of the places in between. So if I don't get it right, and I'm not expecting you to know these answers, what I'm trying to explain to you is it's very complicated and it moves very fast, which is why psychics get a bad rap. Because somebody walks into a fortune teller and they start out, am I going to find the man of my dreams? Very open-minded. And the psychic, who doesn't move timelines as quickly or perspectives as quickly, will say, well, from the perspective that that question is asked in that timeline, you absolutely will find it in next year at October 12th, which is accurate. But by the time that psychic has finished telling you that, you either based on a belief that you absolutely believe this psychic 100%, which in that case helps you focus and keep point on that date and that timeline, makes it true, or, well, just a fortune teller in the middle of a carnival, and what do they know? Yeah, right, whatever. Okay, so now you haven't focused, you don't believe her, and guess what? You are now off the timeline that she told you that you would meet Mr. Wonderful. And that's the reason why I try very hard, unless it's a huge, huge point, to not tell anybody what their future holds, because it's a waste of time. Total waste of time. And you need to start learning to control your timelines yourself anyway. Really. Okay? So I just want you to understand that if you ask me a question and I don't answer it and it doesn't feel right, it doesn't jive, I didn't answer it the way you feel like I didn't understand the question, ask me again. And keep asking me until I get it right. No harm, no foul. I want y'all to know I'm just a regular person that had a really weird thing happen to me, and I'm just trying to help anybody that I can. That's it. I'm no great orator or videographer or anything like that. I just feel like I have had a big advantage with this, and I'm not here to force anybody to believe me, but if it resonates with you, I've told a friend of mine today, I'm not telling you anything you don't know already. You know all this. All I am doing is triggering that memory. That's all I'm doing. So whatever you need to ask, whatever you need to hear, if it helps you and you go, I've had this so many times, I go, oh yeah, I knew that. Or something inside me said that, yeah, that's right. That's all I'm doing here. I'm not imparting some great knowledge. You are a part of the one, the all that is. You are a God, and you have just been in amnesia, that's all. And I came out a little bit earlier than you, that's it. So I know how I was. I know how my amnesia was, and I just want to help you get closer to where you want to be, because it's a tough 3D world. A lot of difficulty there, and I didn't have anybody to help me, and I tried using all the regular modern medicine and self-help books, and yeah, that didn't work at all. So if I can help somebody get out of their amnesia a little bit easier than I did, it's a good day for me. And like I've said before, if I help 10 people in this whole process, if I do it for another 50 years, I'll be happy with those numbers. Because I know how hard it was for me. And knowing that 10 people didn't have to do it quite as hard as I did, I'm good with that. I'm good with that. Okay? Alright. So, if you have anything you want me to talk about, you want me to clarify something, comment, or email me, or whatever. Alright? Okay, I'm going to try to go back to bed now. Okay? I love you all. Huge hugs.